You're listening to the Cantina Cast, your home for thought-provoking Star Wars talk. Join Albert and Jonesy in breaking down the latest news, trailers, movies, and of course, your favorite characters from a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cantina Cast. My name is Albert Padilla, and this is the Waystation, your source for Star Wars news and rumors. Today is December 2nd, 2023, and with me, as always, is the lovely and talented Ed Garcia. Ed, welcome to the show. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Been a pretty good weekend. Been a pretty good Sunday.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. Your 49ers were kicking butt there on the Eagles fans. No offense to Eagles fans, but we hate you.
Much offense to Eagles fans. Take all the offense.
Yeah. As a Cowboys fan and a 49ers fan, we don't like you. But if you're a listener of the show, we love you. So there's a difference there. So we're going to get into this. We've got a little bit of news, and then I thought we could have some fun here at the very end of the show and look at the annual. It's a tradition now for Lucasfilm. They release their annual holiday guide for all the stuff that you can buy ahead of Christmas time. And there's some really cool stuff in there, and there's some not so cool stuff in there. So kind of par for course. Before we get started, though, I want to say a special thank you to all of our Patreon members, especially the now part of the tribe members are Rob, Mike Borda, Lauren, Dante, Risk, Bayless, Justin, Jackson, Sharkman Dan, Daz, Isabella, Uncle Leon, Josh C., Jacob, and welcome back, Reader Reborn. And, of course, our highest tier, which is Delusions of Grandeur. That is Rod, CJ, Alex, Steve, and Das. If you guys are interested, you can head out to cantinacast.com/Patreon and check. You can sign up there for whatever you want to do. There's all kinds of stuff, different types of levels that you can sign up for. Everything from audio only to video, if you want to do that. And really quickly, this week, so what we got programming-wise, Lauren and I are going to do Shadows of Starlight this week. We'll do Shadows of Starlight Part 2 after that, and then we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will finally get into Eye of Darkness. So we kind of did that because we were messing with the calendar, looking at it, and we were trying to figure out a way to work in issues 3 and 4 of Shadows of Starlight without really spilling too much into Eye of Darkness. So we've got that all lined up. And on top of that, we have a number of other shows. So after this show tonight, we are going to do the unboxing of this thing. This is the Stellan Geos lightsaber. It's all in a wooden box, and that should be a lot of fun.
I can't believe you haven't taken that out of the box yet.
Well, that's part of the unboxing. That's part of the fun. So Jonesy was over here at the house the other day, and he actually ripped the back of the plastic. I don't think he was meaning to, but Jonesy will be with me right after this show here. So 10 p.m. Central, if you guys want to join us for that. We'll do an unboxing. We'll make it a Q&A too. So if you have questions, you want to come in, hang out, you're more than welcome to. Feel free to do so. And then on top of that, I was just talking to Ed. I've already talked to Jonesy. I've already talked to Lauren. And we are going to do a first here for the Cantina Cast. We're going to talk about the Star Wars Holiday Special. So that'll be, I think, right now, December 17th. It'll be we'll probably make it Patreon, but at some point we may release that to the rest of the public. I'm not sure just yet. We haven't decided on that, but that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll actually talk about the thing that is the holiday special. Jonesy and I actually saw Disturbance in the Force, the documentary that Ed and I talked about last week or 2 weeks ago or whenever it was. And phenomenal, great documentary. Comes out December 5th. I don't think it's streaming as of yet, but you can buy it digitally, or I think you can buy it. You might be able to pick up a physical copy. I'm not exactly sure, but I cannot recommend that enough. It does a really good job of balancing just what it was without really treading too far into making fun of it. It's a really good. It's very sincere, at the same time funny, and just accepting it for what it is, man. It's a disaster, but we love it because it's a disaster. So anyways, December 17th, we'll do the holiday special, and that'll be the four of us talking about that. So please join us for that one as well. All right, last bit of news. I want to, before we get into the actual Star Wars news, you guys know Fearless Fred. He was on here. He did a show with me. I think we've mentioned at one point that I had done a small bit role in his, what is it? I guess it's I don't know. I've never asked him like the official time. What would you call it? It's not an audiobook. It's a radio drama?
Audio. Yeah. Audio play, I guess. Radio drama.
Yeah.
Actually played on the radio. So I wouldn't say, but it is like old school radio drama.
Old school radio drama, right? So Mud 79, it follows the life of someone who is a mud trooper. Again, we've already talked about this, but if you head out that episode what is it? 26 is out now. Legionary Champion. That's the one I'm on. So if you want to listen to I suggest listen to the whole thing. It's really good. Jonesy's caught up. I'm not. But if you want to hear my little bit part, I'm at the 23-minute piece or place or whatever it is of that episode. And I play VET3, which is a retired battle droid. Oh, wait, no. It's VET3. Sorry. VET3. That's what I am. It's not a VET3. So sorry about that. Nothing glorified. No, I'm just kidding. It's a bit role, right? It's a little walk-on role. So that's out. You guys got to listen to that. Production quality is awesome. Audio is amazing. Just the plethora of people that he's brought on to help out is pretty astounding. So give it a listen from episode 1. Okay, Ed, you ready to get into the news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we talked about this last week, Jonesy and I. We actually did a whole show on this because there was so much in here, and I was like, there's no way we can dedicate a Waystation to this. It'll be like an hour at least before we get to anything else. So we kind of broke that off, but there was a lot in this article, but I really want to kind of just get your thoughts and opinions on Dave Filoni being promoted to Chief Creative Officer, CCO, I guess, if that's a thing now. He's kind of that person that gets to sway things, influence things before they get too far into production, which is very different than what his role is today. But I guess your thoughts on Dave Filoni in general, and then just kind of what do you think about his promotion? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for Star Wars?
Yeah, I think it's wild that they gave him the title of Chief Creative Officer, but not the title of Master. I think that might bite them in the butt.
He's not part of the council yet. Yeah. That's sad.
No, I love it. I'm a big fan of this. I think it feels like that's what if you're going to be doing these big epic franchise movies, you kind of need somebody kind of in charge to kind of make sure everything's connected, right? You look what Kevin Feige's done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like kind of this steward who just kind of makes sure everybody's on the same page. We're all following the same continuity. Nobody's going to do like one movie that's going to be a whole mystery movie. Then the next movie, they're like, yeah, forget the mystery. Then the third movie be like, oh no, we're going to do the mystery again. Like it's going to follow some sort of continuity, some sort of structure. And I'm like Marvel's probably a bad example right now with the failure of the Marvels in theater and just kind of how this year's been for Marvel. But over the past 15 years, you look at what Kevin Feige has done for them. I really hope Dave Filoni can do the same for Star Wars. I mean, you look at what he's done with his animated shows. You look at what he's been able to do with creating new characters. I don't know if you saw that viral video. I don't know if it was released this week. That guy was making all these complaints about like Star Wars. They don't make any new characters anymore. Yeah, well, Dave Filoni has. He's been doing it in the animated series for a long time. Has been doing great with it and some of the best characters. So yeah, I love it. I hopefully he can do for Star Wars what Kevin Feige did for Marvel.
Yeah. 100% co-sign everything. And I would agree, like, if there's any one person that has been creating new characters, exciting characters, very in-depth characters that are non-one-dimensional, it definitely is somebody like Dave Filoni, who's taken so many pages from George Lucas, almost literally, in all that. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it on the show, but I'm with you. I mean, this is a good thing. I really see this as a good thing. And it just kind of gives somebody that through line through what all of this stuff is it's produced and all of this stuff as it's created and comes out. There's been some confusion too. I know a lot of people were like, well, what's the story group? How come they didn't do it? Right. And that's not what the story group's role is. The story group is someone that these creators would come to and say, hey, I want to do this. Is it going to break anything? Right. Am I doing anything wrong here? Am I using the right, can I use this kind of a lightsaber? Can I use this kind of fuel? Does it make sense to, I need a fuel or something name for this particular scene. What can I call it? That's what they do. They don't go to the creators and they will influence at times, but their role isn't primarily to do what Dave Filoni is going to be doing in this new role, which is, hey, maybe you should think about trying to connect these two, or you may be deviating too far from what we've already talked about, in the past, we've done in the past, and stuff that we are planning long-term in the future, right? To your point, it's that more holistic approach, this more holistic view of what's really happening in the universe. So it does feel connected without feeling so disparate like we may have had recently with some of the movies and maybe even some of the other content. So 100% thumbs up for me too. Really excited for this dude. All right, let's talk about something else that happened here this week. So Daisy Ridley was she did an exclusive interview for, and I forget who this was. I'm looking at the website or the Collider Arizu Amen is the woman who wrote this. She's great. You got to follow her on Twitter, by the way. She's amazing. Love her to death. But the title says Daisy Ridley says her new Star Wars movie is not, quote, not what I expected. Oh, well, exclusive. So Collider is the one that broke this. And she goes on, and I'll read some of this. I can't read all of it because there's some naughty language in here. But she's talking to, who is this here? Steve, what was this guy name? I forget the guy's name. Steve Weintraub, who was doing an interview. And she says, I will tell you, Steve, when I saw you in Park City, I had not been approached. All right, I'll skip that part. She's talking about how originally when he asked her, she was like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. When she came back from whatever that first time they met, they told her, hey, we're putting you in a new movie. So she kept telling everybody, no, I'm not doing one. She said no one knew I was going to Celebration except for Kathleen Kennedy. And there were a couple of other people. I was so nervous. Oh, my God. It was such a wonderful reception. I'm very excited. The story is really cool. I'm waiting to read a script because obviously I don't have any other updates. And then where everybody's kind of latched on is it's not what I expected, but I am very excited. Now, what's your thoughts on I guess that? But what's crazy here is there was a lot of clickbait articles that came out as a result of this because they only posted it's not what I expected. They completely removed but I'm excited, and it just set everybody on fire. There was all kinds, I mean, the hate speech was coming out. Everybody was bashing this, saying, oh my God, this is going to be a terrible disaster. And that's really not what she's saying, right? Context matters, the words matter, but I guess your thoughts on the movie, or I guess anything else that you read. There's some other stuff in here that we won't get into, but what did you think?
I was actually kind of wondering, like, what was she expecting, right? Like, what was in her mind it was going to be? Because I guess the rumor for a while, it was going to be, if they bring her back, it would be a trilogy. And this kind of sounds more like, we're going to take this one at a time. We're going to do this, see how it does, and okay, maybe continue. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I've always liked her performances in her trilogy. I think she was let down by a lot of the writing and a lot of just, the continuity between movies. But, now we talked about that earlier with Dave Filoni. Yep. I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore. Yeah, I'm kind of excited because, like, it's not, a lot of the shows that we have right now on Disney Plus, like Ahsoka, like The Mandalorian, they're kind of like stuck as almost a prequel, but not really. You know what I mean? Because their story has nothing to do with what we've seen already, but they are stuck in a certain time where we kind of know where it's going later. Whereas this is open-ended. This is brand new frontier. We don't know what's going on. So, like, is she going to do a whole new Jedi school? Is she going to get away from Jedi stuff? Is she just going to just kind of go on adventures? World is her oyster. Tatooine is her oyster.
Please, no. Let's not go back to Tatooine.
Isn't that where she is now? That's where she is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she went there to go bury the lightsabers, and
I just assumed she was going to go live on.
Gosh, I hope not. Wow, what a miserable life in existence at that point. No, I would expect her, and I'm with you. Like, it's again, I wanted to bring this up because of the context, right? People leaving out that she was excited. A lot of it was painted as, oh my gosh, Daisy Ridley is completely, she's saying that this is totally not what she expected in a bad way, right? There was almost a negative connotation to it. So, and I'm with you. Like, I haven't really put a lot of thought into this. I think she may be speaking about what you're talking about, which is, well, this is not a new trilogy. It is kind of one step at a time. There's probably a beginning, middle, and an end to this movie, but still with potential to branch off if they wanted. Kathleen Kennedy has said as much. They want to take their time with this new movie trilogy. They're not trying to plan out, 15 years in advance at this point. This is part of some of the lessons learned from Solo and having two releases kind of right back to back with each other within 6 months, right? All of this is kind of playing into it. If she's talking about story, if I hear New Jedi Order, then I think, oh, she's the headmaster, Jedi master, and she's got a group of younglings and maybe some young Padawans, maybe a couple of knights as well, and they're, she's trying to make things work. That may be the too obvious answer, right? That may be too on the nose, and they may be taking a different approach. Like, what if she's not even part of it? Maybe she stood it up, and we're so far in the future now that she's handed it off to somebody, and she's on some other mission or whatever. I don't know. We can probably speculate that at some point in a future episode, but all that, I feel like it's going to be good. If she's excited, she knows the character better than anyone else, and I'm with you. Like, I thought she did a great job as Rey. I really loved her as Rey. So I'm excited. I can't wait till we get some more details about what this is going to be.
I don't know if it's going to be like kind of like a Godfather 3 that she's like, she's out. You know, she's on her moisture farm on Tatooine, and here comes Finn and that kid with the broom, and they're like, we gotta start doing this, and she's like, no, I try to get out, and you keep pulling me back in. Like that's act one of the
Yeah.
movie. Who
Yeah.
knows?
This is why you're not a writer, my friend. You're you're behind the microphone all day long. That's probably a safe place for you. No, I like that idea, Ed, sort of. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I want to talk about Taika Waititi. I'm going to play this. There's no audio on this one, but this is a video that he did. So he was on the Kelly Clarkson show, which I didn't realize she still had a show. It feels like I thought that left, but nonetheless, it's still going on. Good for her. And he was asked in this interview about whether or not he had a Star Wars movie, and she very nonchalantly approaches it as such, like, "Oh, I heard you had a Star Wars movie." I'm like, my goodness, everybody has talked about this for the last 4 years. But that aside, she asks him, how's it coming? And he goes on to say that, he's taken his time with this. Of course, we all know that because we've been waiting forever. This is a movie that outside of Kathleen Kennedy's announcement, which happened years ago, it's not really been brought up at Star Wars Celebration. There's nothing really too official. You can't go see it on a calendar. They've kind of given him a blank check to kind of take his time and do what he needs to do because he is Taika Waititi, right? For what that means. But he did say something interesting. He said he wanted to capture the joy and entertainment of those early ones, like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He said, I'm trying to figure that out. He said it's very important to him. He seemed very sincere about it. Like, I think he gets it. I think he gets the weight of what this means and what it means to fans. But then he kind of ends this by saying it'll happen. So, I mean, in his mind, at least, definitively it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. It's taken the time that he's taken, and why it's taken so long is because he's trying to, make sure he gets that right. And then I want your thoughts on that. But here's something else, and I don't have this in the show notes, but so just take my word, this really happened. There was last week when there was another quote, and I forget exactly where it's from, but it was again running rampant all over the internet, where they had quoted Taika Waititi as saying that his movie was going to, quote, piss off Star Wars fans, right? Now, if you know this guy, right, he's no dummy. And we all know that if you release anything Star Wars, you are going to piss off Star Wars fans. That's just how it goes. There's no way around it. And I think that's all he was saying. But again, it made for a great lead in and, headlines on YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff saying that, oh my God, he's really going to do something terrible and horrible here. So I know you and I've already talked about this, but your thoughts on, I guess, on this interview. And is there any pleasing Star Wars fans?
Probably not. I mean, some of us, yes, but a lot of us, absolutely not. This Reddit thread that you linked there. This is from No Nefariousness 2144. Taika will be another example of the Disney Star Wars curse. Director gets announced to be working on a Star Wars film. The director's new project is critically panned. A year later, Lucas Film announces the director's Star Wars film no longer happening. Example: Patty Jenkins, Josh Trank, D&D, and Colin Trevorrow. A lot of people have just been negative on Taika lately. Yeah. Right. Both I guess in the Marvel fan bases and in the Star Wars fan bases, I guess people just hated Thor: Love and Thunder that much that they're like, this guy's never going to do anything good again. And like, didn't he get nominated for an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit? Yeah. That won a bunch of awards, and he got nominated for Best Picture and a whole bunch of other things. I think he won Best Screenplay for that. This is an Oscar winning director, or maybe not for a director, but he's won an Oscar at something else. I think he can do this. I think he could probably do this, but just so much negativity. You do one thing poorly and we forget about Thor Ragnarok. We forget about What We Do in the Shadows. We forget about Jojo Rabbit. We forget he directed that episode of The Mandalorian, which is a great episode. I don't know if it's one of the best ones, but it was definitely a memorable episode in that first season. I don't know, man. I hope he does it. I hope he does it well.
Yeah, more power to him. I'm excited. I'm a fan of his. I'm one of the few people that did love Love and Thunder, but I get where the feedback was. And I've seen the same thing. Again, everybody was kind of piling on at this point saying, gosh, why is this still happening? And, you've got the naysayers saying, oh, this is going to be different. And they could be right? I mean, there's nothing official. So much like all the people that you were reading from that gentleman or person that quoted or that posted on Reddit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some like Patty Jenkins, right? There was a very sincere attempt, although that is technically she's still talking about it. But that aside, there are some very sincere attempts here by some of these creatives to come out and do a Star Wars movie. Who wouldn't want to do a Star Wars movie? Yeah. The reality is sometimes it works and sometimes it didn't. Nothing's changed, right? This has always been a Hollywood thing. It's always been a movie industry thing. The only thing that's different is now it's Disney instead of Lucas, right? So
Mhm.
welcome to the world of movies and production, right? It just happens a lot, whether it's a writer, a director, an actor. How many times have you read something's going to be coming out and they've already cast people, or you've heard names mentioned, and then 6 months into pre-production, person drops out, and now a new director comes in, and then a new writer comes in. That's just the nature of things. It doesn't mean that Star Wars is poisoned by that. It's just that's the reality that we live in, and we either have to accept it or move on and go watch the holiday special all day, right? So that's I'm excited, and I hope this guy does well. I think if anything else, he feels like he's a good steward of the original trilogy at a minimum, and I think he
Yep.
understands the importance here. So I'm looking forward to him kind of trying to capture that magic and that feel, the entertainment value, whether he does it or not. Who knows? We'll have to see. I think he's got it. He's got the chops to do it, though.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of when Star Wars fans get to do stuff like this, right?
Yes.
Maybe
Right.
not necessarily perform, right? There's a lot of people who've gotten to play parts in Star Wars movies that just don't care, like say Bill Burr, right? But
Mm,
that actually made his character better. That he
yeah.
doesn't care about Star Wars. It's just a paycheck for him, but it made his character better when he was on The Mandalorian. I don't think Harrison Ford cares one iota about anything Star Wars, but that makes his character better. But as far as like creatives go, when you have somebody writing a movie and directing a movie, I think it makes it so much better. Yes, when they know the Star Wars lore, when they know just the feeling and the tone you should have in Star Wars, it should be fun and funny, but it shouldn't be overly quippy. It should, take things seriously, but it's not an over serious, dramatic piece. It's just someone who knows the source material. Just helps the whole project out so much more.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a thin line, but I have confidence that he's able to kind of walk that definitely. So more to come on that as that continues to start. It feels like we have a Taika Waititi story just about every week now. Uh, we'll do some quick fire round here type stories just on some of the stuff that's happening with television. This is I've got right now. I pulled it up. This is a Twitter post. This came from Jennifer Corbett, who we should all know at this point. But she was talking about the Bad Batch, and she said she's toasting. It says toasting to the final mix session for the Bad Batch. What a pleasure to watch Dave Collins and team in action. Can't wait for y'all to see what's in store for the final season. So the sound mixing's done, and this is usually kind of one of the last things you do before you turn off the lights and call it a wrap before it comes out. So I think that it's safe to say that we're probably going to see this in 2024, even though it's not been officially announced. It looks like this is going to be it, and this is the last season. I don't know if anybody's been keeping up, or if you're new to this, if you've not watched the Bad Batch, 3 seasons is really kind of what they've sketched out. So we're going to be getting that probably in 2024. Now, where that goes, I don't know. You and I were talking about where does all this stuff happen now after the writer's strike. I think we're still looking at, well, I'll come back to that in a little bit, but I mean, Bad Batch is just something they can kind of stick anywhere because it
Yeah.
is, it's kind of independent. It's not really part of the Filoniverse, but I don't know. But you guys, any thoughts on this one before we swing over to the Acolyte Skeleton Crew and the other ones?
Well, no, just like you said, right? I feel like the animated stuff can be in a different release pattern than everything else, right? Live action kind of feels like everything with the Mandalorian and with the Book of Boba Fett and with Ahsoka, that's all kind of in the same universe. So we have to release it, one after the other. We got to wait for the other to be released. Whereas this is kind of like, I don't know, it's a prequel kind of thing. So just drop it in whenever.
Yeah, yeah.
When do we
exactly.
have a hole in the Disney Plus release schedule? Cool, put it in there.
Yeah, slap it in there. Yep. Once they've got everything else planned. That's the gift guide. Oh, so just quickly before we get to that, so the other stuff that happened. This is from Bespin Bulletin. If you guys are into rumors and spoilers, that's a place to go. This is non-spoiler. This is purely speculation. I think Making Star Wars has kind of heard the same thing here, but we were talking about where these shows would fit now after the writer's strike. The most recent reports from both of those guys is Acolyte would be looking somewhere around August of 2024. So late summer kind of release. Skeleton Crew, November, maybe December of 2024. I think you and I said that's probably where they would probably land at some point, right? We just pushed everything out like 6 months, really, is all we
Yeah.
did. And then Mando, 2025 at this point, which seems really far away, but it's maybe not as much. But I don't know. Any thoughts around that? That seem about reasonable given how long the writer's strike went, and we're kind of we're at the end of the year. beginning of the year, not really the best time. So it feels like that is kind of a pragmatic approach to how they would release this stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like yeah, take your time, write a good story, make a good thing, but at the same time, it's like, I want stuff. Give me stuff. I want something new. I want to give me something new. Give me something we can talk about, but also, yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I hope so. 2025, yeah, sounds so long from now, but 2024 is less than a month away. It's in 28 days from now. So hopefully it's probably not going to come out January 1st, but you never know how long that's going to take. I'm curious where they go with it. Is it going to be is did they confirm Boba Fett's going to be in season 4? Is that like just a slash?
No,
Mando?
no. Yeah, I don't think they've confirmed it. I think either they're going to do a Book of Boba Fett 2, which I don't know if that makes sense or not, or he's going to get worked into the Mando storyline, which then gets rolled up into, the big event that they're kind of planning for 2025, 2026. I don't know, somewhere around there. Jonesy's already going where I'm going. He said, he's asking in the chat right now. He said, so a Filoniverse movie would be then what, late 2026 or even 2027? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It feels like that movie, which I think it originally speculated would be out in 2025, and we were only basing that on the way the current TV schedule was, and thinking, okay, they're going to move from the TV stuff into this movie, this Dave Filoni movie. So I think we speculated that would be the first movie, which they announced would be in 2025. I don't know. That feels like it's probably either going to be replaced by maybe New Jedi Order. That they'd have to really get started on this pretty quickly to kind of make that. But if not, then I would expect them to push all that out as well, probably about a year. So 2026 feels about right for the new Filoni movie if they're going to do that, maybe even 2027. But yeah, I mean, for next year, I think this bodes well. I mean, we've got The Bad Batch, we've got Acolyte, we've got Skeleton Crew, so we've got those three. Super heavy, super dense with novels, especially with the High Republic Phase 3 kicking off, just kicking off right now. Great stuff already. So I think we're going to get our fill. Is it going to be a normal year? No, but it really wasn't a normal half of the year with the strikes. So it all makes sense. We're just, delayed a little bit. Kind of like when COVID was around, right? When we came off COVID, it just felt like, man, life got put on hold and we've got to just, ramp up again. It's going to be a while. And it was pretty good. I mean, we were drinking from the well there for a while right after COVID up until the strikes.
Yeah. I mean, you look at, I think for the Marvel schedule, I think the Deadpool movie is the only thing coming out in 2024. And wow. I know for that fandom, it's probably good that they're taking a bit of a break, that, rest it, let people miss you for a little bit. And I think this is the same thing for Star Wars. It's like, we haven't had a movie in a while. Don't force it. Like let people miss you for a while. And that when it finally comes back, people are like, yes, I'm in the mood. It's like you and me will be in the mood all the time, but I'm talking about like the masses,
right?
The regular people who are just like, oh yeah, I haven't seen a Star Wars movie in like 5 years. Let's do it. Let's actually go to a theater.
Yeah, go out, yeah. Enjoy the outdoors, or go watch Godzilla -1. That was pretty phenomenal.
I heard it's good. Is it good?
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah.
Better than the Beyonce movie, because apparently the Beyonce movie was the #1 movie this weekend.
Yeah, just marginally, I would say. No, it's definitely better than Beyonce. I don't know. I haven't seen the Beyonce movie. It looks good. She looks good. All right. All right. Let's talk about the gift guide. All right. So every year, StarWars.com puts out this Gift the Galaxy, and they kind of collect a lot of the stuff that's out in stores right now or available online for you to purchase for that person in your life that may be a Star Wars fan. That person could be you, and it's okay. You can buy these gifts for yourself. And there's a lot of stuff in here. I wanted to so if you look here, I'm kind of scrolling through it all right now. There's a ton of stuff in here. We're not going to touch on everything, right? But there were a couple things that I picked out to talk about. But was there anything that you wanted to talk about, Ed? Was there anything that caught your eye that said, whoa, look at that. That's something I definitely need under my tree this year?
I mean, a couple things. I'd like the R2D2 beer fridge was immediate, like, do I want that?
All right, let's take a look at this one. So,
do I want that now? But I do have like an R2D2 garbage can. I can't have two R2D2s in my apartment. They'd be like next to each other.
Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it?
That'd be weird.
I've got the same problem right now. So I have a X-Wing inflatable out front with R2D2 in it, and he's got like a little red Santa cap on. And then right next to him, I have an inflatable R2D2 by himself. And it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like a parallel universe where the two can exist. It just doesn't feel right. So I get what you're feeling, man. But This looks pretty. I didn't realize this was a beer fridge, and it's only $50. So
Yeah.
stick it under your desk.
Maybe bring it to work. I could use like a beer fridge down here. I think.
Yeah. IT guys love
I mean,
this.
I mean,
by the
drink fridge.
Right.
If my boss is listening, drink.
Sparkling water fridge. is what I got.
Seltzer, non-alcoholic seltzer fridge.
Yeah. Hold 6 cans. It's kind of tiny, but it's still $50, and it looks like R2D2. So what am I complaining about? All right. Well, this is at Walmart. I'm sure you can probably find it otherwhere. Oh, it says out of stock. Well, too late. Yeah. Good look at that one. What else? What else caught your eye on this stuff here?
Yeah. Oh man, this electric salt and pepper mill, the lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. I had
Like
that one pulled up.
yeah, the Star Wars nerd in me really wants that, but like the person who knows cooking doesn't know. That'd be those probably be really bad. Don't get that.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've heard it here if they're listening. And these light up. So when you grind your pepper and your salt, you hear the noise and the light. It turns red or it turns blue, depending on which one you're using.
Yeah, you don't need a salt grinder. Those are just use a shaker.
I kind of need this one because I've got this. This is the Mando salt and is it focusing? There we go. Yeah, this is the Mando salt and pepper shakers that I've never opened. We were doing a Tatooine trading post, and I never got around to this one, but it could complement those. But this one looks great. $40. Is it worth it for $40? I don't know. I guess it depends on how well it grinds.
I wouldn't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Get the Mandalorian and Child hardcover book. I think that looks better. Oh, and this Chewbacca Squishmallow. That looks dope.
Let's see. Oh, I saw this guy right here.
Yeah.
The Qtopia. It's not a Squishmallow. Whatever.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
different brand.
Different brand, but yeah,
the GoBot of Squishmallows.
Oh, and they have them in different sizes. You can get a 5-inch, 7-inch, and 10-inch. Look at that. Cute. $13. I don't know which version this is, though.
Yeah, that's adorable.
On Amazon. What was the other one you said?
The book, the Mandalorian and Child hardcover book.
Oh, okay. I lost the dang tab. All right, let me pull this back up here. It's like one of the first things that pops up. Here we go. Child book. Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. I was like, what book is he? You're talking about this one here.
Yeah, the children's book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you
He's done a lot of these, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He's done one
with Vader and Son. Yeah.
Vader and Son, Vader and Daughter. I have both of those. Those are the only ones I have, but they're really good stories. Or not really stories, but they're kind of, here they are. Vader and Son. They've got Vader Family. Sithmas is another one that he's done here. But yeah, I mean, if you've got kids, or even if you don't, these are great to pick up and just read. And the artwork is brilliant. It's very simple. There's not a lot going on, so they definitely hold kids' attentions. Here we go. I'm pulling up some of the stuff here. And there's some good inside jokes here. Stuff for the parents, stuff for the kids as well. But yeah, this is good stuff. I realize. Oh my goodness, was that Peli Motto? Hold on. Where did I see her? She snuck in there somewhere. Yeah, no. Yeah, there she is. I don't know what to tell you, Mando. It's going to take me weeks to install this boost to see. Yeah. Let's see. I picked out some other things here. Oh, okay. So this is the Star Wars Heritage Pack. So this is, what is this? 2, 4, 6, 7 games for $59.99 for the, what is this? The Nintendo Switch. So you get Republic Commando, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight 2, Force Unleashed, Part 1. Why wouldn't they put Part 2? It's not in here. Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Star Wars Racer, all on one single little cartridge for $60. So if you don't already have these, which I think at this point, if you're a Star Wars fan and you probably have multiple copies of this on multiple platforms over the last, 30, 40 years at this point. Well, 30 years, I guess. This is a great buy. I think it's great. $40. This sale ends in 9 hours. Normally this is an $80 game, which already seems kind of crazy, but right now it's $60 for all 7 of these.
Yeah, or maybe you had that in the PlayStation days and you haven't played it since. This is a great game. I think
that's right.
Me and my brother had like half of those.
You got a favorite here?
Probably the Force one.
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, Force Unleashed.
Yeah. That's just like pure adrenaline, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
That's the Old Republic. It's classic, of course, but
yeah. I like
Force
Racer.
Unleashed.
I liked Racer too. A lot of people didn't like that when it came out, but I think it did a good job of capturing the thrill, even though there really wasn't. It was kind of, I would say it was one-dimensional, right? But it's still fun. Still a lot of fun. Feels like you're actually in the movie playing that. Let's see. What else did I pick? Oh, so if you've got deep pockets, you can pick up this Luke's lightsaber, the Mandalorian limited edition. So I don't know what makes this the Mandalorian limited edition. Maybe it's just the fact that unless he did something to his lightsaber by the time we get to the Mandalorian, or they're just trying to tag it to the Mandalorian because it sells. But this retails for $580.
Jeez, in this economy?
Yeah, but you get free shipping.
Okay.
So it's not all that bad. But yeah, $600, man, almost here. Probably after that with tax. But I mean, it looks like every other Luke Skywalker lightsaber replica that's been made. I just don't know what the difference is or why they've tagged it as Mandalorian. Do you collect lightsabers?
I do not.
Yet.
It used to be like my usual gift for my brother. Actually, just here's another thing.
I've got a couple. I'll show these again here in a little bit when we actually do the opening of the Stellan Gios lightsaber. Here's the Cal Kestis special edition one that came with the part 2 of the game. And that's probably not too. It's heavy. It's huge. And then I have my plastic Ezra Bridger lightsaber that came from the Disney stores. You could buy that at some point. And it does pop up. Oh no, you got to do it manually. You got to click it. You have to like force it out. No pun intended. Right. So there's this one. And then I've got the only other lightsaber that I have 2 of these, and they're both broken. So this is from 2006. This is Vader's lightsaber. And this is one of those automatic telescopic ones.
Oh yeah.
That you push the button and it pops out.
I probably had that one.
Yeah.
I remember getting him one that it was a kit and you can build different lightsabers.
Yes. Yeah, that was what was the name of that kit?
It was almost like choose your own adventure lightsaber.
Yeah, you could really get wicked and crazy. It looked like a bunch of pipes put together with blades sticking out of them. Yeah, those are fun. I forget the name of the title. That whole series. They still make those, by the way. I saw one just the other day. Yeah. They've got a Mace Windu out right now, so you can get the purple blade, his lightsaber, and then they gave you all these other kind of contraptions that you can slap on as well. There's a Darth Maul one too that's really wicked as well that they released a few years back. But yeah, $600 for this one. I picked Nubs. I don't know if you've ever seen this television series for kids. It is so well done. Holy crap, it's so good. It's so enthralling. Not for me, but for my kids and kids in general. They will watch this. It's actually really, really good, and it's similar to if you've got kids, you already know what I'm talking about. But Spidey and His Amazing Friends, that little kid series by the same studio that did that. So production quality is great. Voice acting is great. The sound effects and music are amazing in this show. And it takes place during the High Republic era, which is kind of cool and new and fresh. So it's great. But this is a fan favorite. This is a Nubs ornament that's available right now on Target for $9. I've already been told I can no longer put Star Wars ornaments on the tree because we've exceeded like the max capacity that the boss will let me put on there. But
is it because there's no space, or is there just too much Star Wars things to go there?
No, there's just too much Star Wars things. Yeah. It looks too much like a Star Wars tree. And I've already got like the X-Wing inflatable that's massive out in the front yard. And I posted a picture the other day on Twitter of the AT-AT that I have. It's like a 10-foot AT-AT that's holiday. So the whole front yard is like vomiting Star Wars already. So now to bring that inside and put yet another ornament, yeah, I'd be sleeping outside.
No, but you see what you got to do. You got to put something else there first. Then you can bring the Star Wars after. So I saw like this Super Mario, like the star from Super Mario.
Yeah,
they're selling like a tree topper now. Like it just goes on the tree. So you do that, then you can sneak the Star Wars after.
Yeah.
It's balance.
Yeah,
balance and force.
Or it could be negotiating. Like, hey, I'm willing to take the star off. However, in its place, I'd like to bring in Nubs. Yeah. Nubs.
This is advice, by the way, from a divorced man. So probably not the person who should be given advice of that kind.
I'm sure you're fine. Hey, so here's the Secret Lab chairs. This is, are you familiar with the brand? Do you have a Secret Lab chair?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think it's just like the gaming chair, right?
It is the gaming chair, but it's like the Rolls Royce of gaming chairs. It's super expensive.
That's right. Not a gaming chair, the gaming
chair, right? I have one, and it's only because I'm okay with them. Like I love the chair, and I know people have they're gushing over it. It's a really well constructed chair. It's okay, comfortable for me, but other people just go on and on about how amazing it is. It is great. I'm not saying it's not. It's got some really cool features, and It is by far the best chair I've ever owned, but I just have a problem sitting in it for too long sometimes. So, but that said, if you really want to spend, like, I think these chairs run about $600, and then on top of that, you can buy these skins. So they have like the Ahsoka skin here that I've got pulled up right now. They just released this Imperial collection, so you can get it in black or you can get it in white. That just screams stains. I wouldn't do that, but you can get these. You can get both of those designs, which just came out, and I think they had another one. Yeah, they have got the Boba Fett edition as well. So if you're a huge Boba Fett fan, you can skin these, right? You can buy that, replace the cushions, or put these over the cushions and put that over the back, and suddenly it looks like a whole new chair. These things, I think, run. I want to say they're like $300. It's almost like half the chair alone. So no, these are not for the faint of heart. All right, they're pretty expensive, but I think they're worth it. I mean, you kind of get what you're paying for, unless you're weird like me. Yeah, so like $600 for the chair all in one, and then if you want to skin it later, yeah, it looks like they're about $400 for those. But I don't know, if you had a choice, which one would you take here?
I think the Boba Fett one, man.
Yeah,
that looked pretty cool.
yeah.
Like you said, the Stormtrooper one is just going to be full of stains. You don't want that. I don't want my Doritos all over the Doritos dust all over my chair.
You walk in, the
well, it will be there.
Orange.
It will be there on the Boba Fett, but it looks like it would, blend in better.
Right. Yeah. That's just some carbon scoring. That's all that is. It's that's not Cheetos or Doritos. So yeah, great chairs. I do recommend them. Those are good. Now this was something cool that I found. I've got something like this now. So this is from Hot Topic, and this is the. Let me see if I can blow this up because I didn't realize it was not viewable. So this is a magnet that goes on your dishwasher. So whenever it's double-sided. So when the dishes are clean, you slap that on there, and does it say, where's the other side of it? It didn't show. Oh yeah, here they are. It says, clean they are, right? So you've got Yoda, using the Force. This is the scene where he's lifting the X-Wing out of the swamp there on Dagobah. And when it's dirty, you just flip the magnet around and it says dirty they are. So that way, whoever's loading the dishwasher or going to grab something, they're like, oh, these are dirty, right? Yoda's told me. So I have one right now, but it's just, all it says is dirty and clean. And it's,
you don't want that. You need some Star Wars references.
Again, working my way to being single again, but I would love to have this on the dishwasher rather than the cutesy one that's there right now that I did not have anything to do with. But yeah, $10.32. Let's just go ahead and add that to the bag right now while we're doing that.
I mean, I think you're only going to get in trouble if you're constantly putting on the clean they are and just walking away without actually ever putting the dishes away. That's when you get in trouble.
That's a party foul. Yep. Okay, so here's something else too. I want to talk about this. This is MobiFox. If you guys, I think they make Android watches. I don't know. I'm a Apple guy, but I've got a number of these. I've got my Andor one on right now. You probably can't see it. I'm trying to hold it up to the thing. You can't really tell. I've got an Andor one, which is what this looks like. Here's that. So they make these really cool wrist bands for their watches. Oh, that's backwards. So I've got the original Rebel one as well.
Nice.
But great stuff. They make some really good ones, and they've got a whole plethora of different types of styles. There's the Rebel Classic. That's the one I just showed you. All these. And then when you buy these, you can click you download the app, you scan it, and it gives you like exclusive watch faces for your watches as well. And they fit any watch. So, $40. Yeah, it's a little high, but I got Black Friday was really great. I think they did like 40% off or something. Right now, I think you get like 20% off. But if you're a huge Star Wars fan and you got to have it on your wrist, this is the way to go. What kind of watch you rock it, man? Do you rock a watch?
It's a Seiko.
You almost said Casio. It's just as cool though.
Casios make awesome watches.
Yeah, they still do. They have they still make the small calculator watch.
Yeah.
So I've got two of those. Just a couple more things here. I've got this. I've pulled up the Crocs. Is this really Crocs? Yeah. So Crocs has a Star Wars lined Croc shoe, if that's what that is. I'm not a Croc person. I have no idea. I'm out of my element at this point, but I understand this to be lined with real Wookiee fur. But I don't know. This looks really weird. Like, who wants to walk around with Wookiee feet? Would you wear this?
No, but my good friend Damon has fallen into love with Crocs. The last time I saw him, last time I was in Vancouver. So I think I just found his Christmas present right here.
Oh yeah, he's single too.
No, he's got a wife. He's got 2 kids. The wife actually loves wearing the Crocs. The whole family, they walk around in Crocs all the time. It's the weirdest thing. So,
some guys have all the luck, man. I don't know if you can find a woman that We'll let you wear Crocs. Good
I
luck
feel
to you,
like,
brother.
oh, they don't think, I don't think they have a size.
Men's
No.
sold out.
I guess got to get some for the wife then.
Yeah, here they are.
She can walk around in the Wookiee Crocs.
I just can't. I can't do this. I thought this was a fad. I thought it would go away. Here we are 30 years later.
Apparently they're just super comfortable.
Yeah.
And if you just give no cares about what your shoes look like, go for it, man. Yeah. If you like wearing comfortable shoes like that, go ahead. I don't know. I'm not, but if you like it, go for it.
Do you know the story on Crocs? How they came to be?
No.
'Cause I don't know if this is true. It could be, tall tale, maybe it probably should Snoke this or Snopes this or whatever it is. So my understanding is there's a movie called Idiocracy. You ever seen that movie? Came
No.
out.
I know the movie. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, yeah. So it takes place in this kind of dystopian future, and when they were making the movie, they wanted everybody to wear the dumbest shoes, like it was just kind of a cultural thing. Like we got to the point where we no longer cared what were on our feet, and so they went out and said, "Wow, where are we going to find this?" And it was around this time that this guy had created Crocs, and they said, "Look, we're looking for a weird kind of shoe. Would you be willing to give us yours to put in the movie?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, I'm just getting started." So he put them out there, and that's kind of where people really first saw them, and it caught on from that. But I think the irony again is the intent of showing Crocs in that movie was because they're weird and it was different. But who knew they were that comfortable? So I think that's the story. I could be wrong. Maybe I made that up. I didn't.
When you said that, I've heard that story before. That sounded super familiar. Yeah.
Cool.
So if it's a fake story, it's a fake story that's become real. So.
Yeah, urban legend is the word I was looking for. Okay, the last thing. Holy crap, look at this. So this is the who made this one? Sideshow. This is the Darth Vader mythos. And now they've done the mythos line for a number of them. Jonesy, I think, has the Kenobi one. I think Mike even has that one, or Mike has, I forget. They probably both do. But this is the one they just announced a couple weeks ago, months ago, I guess, at this point. Sold out pretty much everywhere. You can join the wait list and hope that you can get it. I think this thing retails, at least on the website here for Sideshow, it retails for $630. The mythos themselves, after their release and after everybody's gotten what they can get and they're no longer making these, they will go up skyward to like, $3,500 to collectors because they're just that rare and so really cool. But this one is pretty freaking epic. So you got Darth Vader. He's like standing on the remnants of an X-Wing engine. You can see there. And they kind of give you this like really, dramatic caption to kind of capture your mind and imagination of what's going on here. But it looks like he's survived some kind of a crash, or you can see his cape is flowing in the wind. He's got his costume. What's that?
If you're really into feet, you can see his toes there.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Yeah, right.
I was like, what's up with his boot? Oh no, that's his toes.
Yeah. Right, it's his toes. Yeah. So I mean, and if he wasn't burnt enough, I mean, clearly he's just melting here. His plastic or whatever it is, plastic steel or whatever he's using has melted off. But look at that. That is pretty incredible, the detail on that. And then his helmet comes off, or I think you can swap the head, right? So if you want to go with so if you want to go with the no masked version of it, 21 more photos. So $630. I've seen some other places that are still taking orders for this. And there's a premium now on them, so upwards of about $700 maybe is what you would pay. Sometimes they include that as they'll say no, you have to put a deposit down that's non-refundable just to hold it at this point, because again, this one flew off the shelves. But yeah, you got any of these?
No, I don't. Most of my stuff on my bookshelf are like action figures, as opposed to like the statue. I don't know why. It's not like I play with them. Like I never get the statues. I always just like, I get the action figures. Yeah. But like, why? This is already in the pose you'd want them in. Yeah. I got like my Han Solo. He's like standing on, I don't know, a bunch of books, and he's doing like the James Bond pose, where like, he's like shooting the gun barrel scene, and it's like cool, but like I've never moved him from that. So like, what's the point of getting an action figure? Just get a statue like this. But also, he didn't cost $630. So
you could have bought a lot of those for $630, multiple ones.
The whole set.
Yeah. And they do an unboxing video, which is what we're kind of playing right now. I love the way this stuff just connects together too. I know that sounds so stupid because they've been doing this for years, but as someone who doesn't collect these, the idea that all of this is just magnets and they pop on it's just like genius. I don't know why. When I was collecting some of this stuff long ago, like a long time ago, there were no magnets. It was like you pulled it out of the box, and if you pulled it out wrong and it broke, well, you're SOL. But this is a much better way to assemble it. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty epic. X-wing cannon. Let's fast forward here to when he gets to the Vader stuff. There he goes, putting on the cape.
Yeah, that looks like it's got some heft the way he was like putting it on. It's like, this is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine this thing is not light. Yeah, look at that. Lightsaber pops on there too. I don't know, magnets are cool. I don't know what to say. Just, leave me alone. But yeah, there you go. But $630, $700. I mean, this is, not for me. I couldn't buy this. Just simply, one, it's a lot of money, and two, I'm out of room. Steph's with us. She said flew off the shelves because all the people into the feet. Oh my gosh.
I told you, man, the feet.
Alex says, wonder if they referenced Hayden's feet. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they said, we're going to need your foot for something. Yeah, modeled it right after.
Like, while you're shooting these scenes for Ahsoka, we're just going to need to scan, take off your shoes.
Right. Put your foot in. We're going to place some into the mold, please, sir. I'd appreciate that. He kind of looks more like Anakin there, too, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, they look like it's definitely Hayden's face instead of
structure.
with his hand.
Yeah, that's wicked, man. All right, well, hey, I've got a GoFundMe up right now. If anybody wants to pitch in so that you can get me this for Christmas, I would appreciate it. Ed, you're included in that.
Albert's going to be selling feet pictures so he can fund his.
Yeah, there's a website.
Foot statue.
I'm going to go sign up right now for OnlyFeet, which is a competitor to OnlyFans, and I'll be posting pictures on there. So please donate. All right, man. Well, that's all we had. Let's see. So again, right after the show, we're going to do an unboxing of the Stellan Geos. Complete disaster. Cannot wait for that. We'll answer questions if anybody has questions as well, Star Wars stuff, just while I try to get that opened. And don't forget, this Thursday, again, Laura and I will be back for Shadows of Starlight, part 1 on that. We've got Eye of Darkness coming out after the end of the year in January. We're already planned out all the episodes. We'll be doing 3 episodes for Eye of Darkness. And December 17th, Jonesy, I haven't really, if you're here, will be joining us. Ed's going to be there. Lauren's going to be there. And we're going to be talking about the holiday special for the first time ever on the Cantina Cast. And that should be a lot of fun. It should be a really fun and laughable show. If no one else is entertained, I'm sure we will. Ed, any final words, thoughts of, advice for any of the folks listening, watching before we get out of here? I
guess I've got 2 weeks to watch the holiday special. That's really...
Yeah. It's going to take you 2 weeks to get through it, man. I'm telling you right now.
It's every 5 minutes, like, oh, it's so bad. So bad.
Remember, 9 minutes, nobody talks for the first 9 minutes. There's nobody talking. Just Wookiees roaring. It's a blast. You're going to love it. Can't wait.
I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the live feed. And let me give some shout-outs. Alex, Sky, Music Train, My Star Wars Guy, Jonesy, and Steph were all here tonight. A number of other folks, too, that didn't say anything, and that's totally cool. Thank you all for joining us tonight on the live show. Head out to cantinacast.com/YouTube. Like, subscribe, click the bell so that you're notified, all that stuff. We really would appreciate it. And we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys here in just a few minutes with the part 2 of this doubleheader show.
You're still listening? Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm here to give you the disclaimer. Normally we do a big, long, drawn-out disclaimer thing saying what's what and who's what and all that other stuff, but I think you guys kind of know that Lucasfilm and Disney have no affiliation with us at all, and we have none with them. We talk about Star Wars, which is their property, and all that other good, fun stuff, but I think you can tell which is our stuff and which is their stuff. If you can't, well, then send a lawyer to send an email to me, and I'll be glad to chat with them. Other than that, you know what's what, so that's your disclaimer.